Hey there, thank you for tuning into Duckbricks. I'm Chris and welcome to a brand new breaking news LEGO video. And finally, after weeks of anticipation and some very low quality leaks, we finally have high resolution images of the entire LEGO Marvel Superheroes wave for summer 2021, focusing on the Infinity Saga, aka the entirety of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, starting from the first Iron Man movie and going all the way up to Spider-Man Far From Home. While we do get a variety of sets from the different movies this time around, the vast majority of them do focus on Avengers Endgame, which I do actually feel is justified, especially because these sets that we did actually get for Endgame when it first came out honestly really just weren't that accurate, and even the spoiler-filled set that was released later on in the form of the Hulk helicopter drop honestly was pretty lackluster and really was only there for the minifigures. This time, however, the builds are very focused on the story and characters from the MCU, so there's a ton of really exciting stuff, including some stuff we never got before from older Marvel movies. Let's just dive in and take a look at all of them right now. Alright, so thanks to a retailer in the UK, we actually have images of all of the new Infinity Saga LEGO Marvel superhero sets, which is really exciting to see because the official reveal for these is not actually scheduled until a little bit later, I believe next Monday. However, since they have been revealed by an actual LEGO retailer, I do believe it is safe for channels like mine to cover them, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. The first set up here is set number 76191, the Infinity Gauntlet, for 590 pieces. This is in a similar style to one of the display kind of stands for the helmets from Star Wars as well as Marvel, and includes a brick-built form of Thanos' famous Infinity Gauntlet. Now, one thing I really like about this is that pretty much everything is in drum lacquered gold, and I can already spy a lot of brand new pieces molded in drum lacquered gold for the first time, such as the larger slopes near the base of the hand there. What is a little bit strange to me is how asymmetrical the Infinity Stones are. Some of them have slopes, some of them just don't, and I guess that's just supposed to represent that they're all different shades of rocks, but I guess it would have maybe been a little bit nicer if they were a little bit more uniform, but it's definitely up to the person to decide. I also like how you can actually articulate all the fingers you can see on the back of the box here, that you can actually perform the snap with this glove, which is honestly probably how I'm going to be displaying this. All in all, I think this is a pretty good and very interesting buildable model. It is a little bit smaller than I was expecting, to be honest, but it's not bad. It's certainly about as good as some of the other helmets. I have seen more impressive mocks of this, but of course those are much, much larger than this itself. Moving on though to the minifigure skill sets, the first one we have up here is 76189, Captain America and Hydra Face-Off. This is based off of Avengers 2 Age of Ultron, featuring the one opening scene where the Avengers raided the Hydra camp, and as such the Hydra minion is dressed in the Avengers Age of Ultron suits that they wore at the beginning of the movie. We get a brand new Captain America figure for this as well, although you could easily mistake it as some of the older ones. There's just been some very minute differences in printing on the chest there, but it's really basically the same as what we've gotten before, just with some minor changes. I do really like actually finally getting an accurate Hydra agent figure after the ones that we actually got for Age of Ultron were just a little bit not accurate, and I hope that LEGO continues this series to take advantage of fixing inaccuracies from previous sets, kind of like what they're doing here. That being said, this is just a Juniors or 4+ set, so I can't really comment too much on the build. It's literally just a standard motorcycle build like we've gotten a ton of times before with Juniors. It still kind of does look good though. The next setup here is set number 76186, Black Panther Dragon Flyer. Now, I was a little bit surprised to see this based off of Avengers Endgame instead of the Black Panther movie, although of course it featured in both. The moment I saw these vehicles on screen, I was wondering how a LEGO set version of them would look like, and I really like how LEGO's actually doing it as a full-on set. This includes a brand new Black Panther minifigure with more accurate printing compared to the movies, as well as a brand new Shuri figure, also with accurate printing, ironically for the Black Panther movie and not Avengers Endgame. It does also include a brand new Chitauri soldier for these sets, which I suspect is the reason why this was marketed as an Endgame set and not a Black Panther set, is because they wanted the third figure to be just some generic villain figure and not have to be a brand new figure for the Black Panther movie. Still, however, I can't excuse it because for a smaller set, this actually is a very decent build, and I really love how you can actually show it in docking position like you can see on the back of the box here, which is one of the memorable positions from the movie. The use of the Speed Champion's cockpit piece was a very smart one, and I do really like the new printing on it. And all in all, I think this is a pretty good set, and one that I've actually been wanting to build as a LEGO set for quite a long time. But moving on to the next set here, we have set number 76190, taking it back all the way to the beginning of the MCU, the first Iron Man movie for Iron Man, Ironmonger Mayhem. This is basically a standard Hulkbuster build, featuring the Ironmonger. In terms of minifigures, we have a new version of Iron Man from that movie, as well as Pepper Potts and Obadiah Stane, who is unfortunately just reusing different pieces from existing minifigures, specifically for the torso there. What I actually do really like about this build, though, is that, sure, while it is just a standard Hulkbuster style, which we've seen 1,000 times before, it actually does attempt to do some unique things, and those pistons on the sides of the arms actually look like they work, which is giving me some major Bionicle flashbacks. I really want to see how those arms move in real life, because it definitely looks like it'd be really fun to play with it, and just move the arms around while watching the pistons articulate. And sure, while the head is basically just using the standard CCBS Construction armor piece, I think it works. It definitely didn't really need anything else, and I probably would have preferred this to be a big fig rather than a large-scale Hulkbuster style build, but I can understand why they did that for a set, because if it was a big fig, I don't really know what they could have even done for the build of the set. Maybe just kind of a boring car for him to throw at Iron Man, so this is definitely a much more interesting build. But then moving on from here, we have set number 76192, Avengers Endgame Final Battle. Now, this actually features a section of the Avengers compound which does look very familiar to me. It's basically a similar layout to the original Avengers Endgame compound that we got back when Avengers Endgame first came out. However, this does actually feature Louise's van for the first time in LEGO form, which is pretty nice, kind of an iconic part of the Ant-Man movies, as well as a turret which is taken literally directly from the last year's helicarrier. Of course, these stars of the sets here are the minifigures. We get a Black Panther and Chitauri figure returning from the Dragonflyer set, meaning that the Shuri figure is the only exclusive one. But in terms of new figures, we get a new Scarlet Witch, finally, which has been long awaited. The last Scarlet Witch we got was all the way back in the original Captain America Civil War set, so it has been a long time coming. Unfortunately, this one just has plain black unprinted legs, so I probably would have really liked if they brought back the cloth piece from that set, but I guess this works, and we are actually getting a Wanda figure for the Marvel Collectible Minifigure series, releasing at the same time as these sets, which has not been revealed yet, but it will be her outfit from WandaVision at the end of the show, so I'm definitely more excited for that figure, although it's nice to get a sneak peek at what it could look like here. We also get a brand new Thor figure. This is supposed to represent the quote-unquote bro Thor, or fat Thor as Marvel calls him, and it is a pretty nice new outfit featuring a brand new face with a beard. I probably would have liked it a little bit better if they introduced a brand new beard mold or even a beard hair combo, but I guess this kind of works if they just didn't have the budget to make a new mold. We get the new Captain America figure from the Age of Ultron set, which I guess is not too accurate because they obviously weren't the same outfit, but it works because I can see why they wouldn't make two different new Captain Americas. And the Iron Man Mark 85 here is basically identical to the original version that released with Avengers Endgame. However, this time he's carrying one of his buildable shield pieces which he featured in Avengers Infinity War. Of course, the star of the set is a brand new Thanos with a new mold for a Big Fig, featuring for the first time for a Marvel Big Fig a rotatable head. We did get some Big Figs with rotatable heads back in LEGO Legends of Chima and Ninjago, but those were mainly restricted to just standard minifigure heads. For this, it seems like they've made a brand new large figure system where they actually have a larger head that can be rotated, which I think is a really good step in the right direction to giving Big Figs more articulation, and I hope that they reuse this style for future Big Figs. It does actually look like they will because the torso is generic enough that you could basically print anything you want on it and it would still work. Maybe they'd do a Kingpin Big Fig? I think it could really work in this style. But speaking of the set itself, you can see some little bits of details such as the holograms that featured some of the Avengers at the beginning of the movie. Interestingly enough, the sticker features the Captain Marvel sticker as a hologram with a new hairpiece. That is one of the standard hairpieces that we've gotten before, but we've never actually seen her wear that hairpiece, so maybe that's hinting on a new Captain Marvel figure. We are, of course, getting Thanos' Sanctuary vehicle, which has not been revealed yet. I'm guessing that's a direct-to-consumer set or some sort of retailer exclusive. It's a pretty small set too, but we are getting a minifigure Thanos, Iron Man, and Captain Marvel with that set, so I can imagine that is the figure we're getting. It also shows off the Rocket Raccoon figure, which is coming in one of the other sets we're going to be talking about. This set does actually include Tony's Nano Gauntlet. It is a smaller scale than the one that Hulk wore, but it does make sense to include that as a piece. Unfortunately, they couldn't actually print that. Finally, moving on to the last set that's actually been revealed. Now, we don't actually have a full picture of the set with the box and minifigures. Unfortunately speaking, this was not actually found at that retailer. However, what we do know is exactly how many minifigures this comes with, and as you can see, we do have a high-res picture thanks to the instruction manual of that set. So this minifigure will come with a brand new Star-Lord minifigure, as well as a Teen Groot figure who may or may not be the same as the 2018 Avengers Infinity War one. I really am not sure. Rocket Raccoon, who we have seen is completely brand new wearing his Endgame outfit. Thor, who I'm guessing is the same Thor from the compound, a brand new Mantis figure, which is an upgrade over the previous Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 figure, as well as a Chitauri. This retails for $150, and it's set number 76193, simply titled Benatar or the Guardian Ship, depending on what region you're in. Now, I really like this, and it definitely looks like a massive upgrade over the older set, which already was pretty good. One of the biggest changes it makes is including the large 2 exhaust pipes at the end of the vehicle, which unfortunately were not really featured in the older set because they had a combining feature with one of the other pods. This does look like a proper full-scale UCS-styled almost Benatar, and this is really fantastic to get because it is really high quality, and I'm quite excited to build this myself. I'm also kind of curious if this will include any other side builds or anything, but we'll have to see and wait till we actually get a picture of the full box set in order to find that out. Now again, there have been a few sets that just were not revealed at this retailer that we do know are coming. The first one that I mentioned earlier is a smaller scale styled Thanos' Sanctuary ship, which I mentioned features Iron Man as well as Captain Marvel and a Thanos minifigure. Now only time will tell if that Thanos minifigure is the same as the one we've gotten in the comic styled sets before, or maybe they'll do something a little bit unique with that. We really don't know. We also will be getting a retailer-exclusive new Asgard set. This is particularly strange to me because it's not particularly an interesting build, I will say so myself, but it does include for the first time a Korg and Meek figure, as well as Endgame Thor in a casual outfit, which will be really nice to get. Really, I can imagine most people getting that set just for the figures, because I can't imagine you can really do any action sequences set around new Asgard. And finally, we are getting a Marvel collectible minifigure series for the first time this summer. Unfortunately though, this is just based on the recently released Disney Plus shows, so it's not really covering all of the MCU, and just specifically Falcon and Winter Soldier, the Loki show, WandaVision, and What If. Specifically, the lineup we're getting is Wanda in her Scarlet Witch outfit, Vision in the White Vision form, Monica Rambeau, who I presume will be in the Photon powered-up spacesuit, Falcon in his Captain America suit, the Winter Soldier, Loki, Lady Loki featuring Throg, What If Peggy Carter Captain America, What If Zombie Captain America, What If Steve Rogers was Spider-Man, What If Black Panther was Star-Lord, and What If Gamora was Thanos. Unfortunately, this does, as you can see, have a lot of slots taken up with the What If variants, which honestly probably won't be too relevant to the MCU as a whole, but it is nice to get those because honestly, I don't know when else they would have given us those variants, so it does make sense that they'd put it in a CMF. I do really wish, though, that they would actually do a full-on either comics or MCU-styled Marvel CMF just at some point down the line, especially if they're doing this. I think it would be really nice to actually get a full-on MCU-styled wave like that.
Alright, and with that, we've taken a look at all of the brand new LEGO Marvel Superheroes Infinity Saga sets for summer 2021. Just a note on release dates, these will be coming out on June 1st everywhere in the world except for North America, where they will be coming out on August 1st. This is a pattern that the vast majority of LEGO summer set waves follow, just like Ninjago and many other themes. Now I definitely will be getting all of these on the release date, maybe even a little bit before. If someone puts it up on Bricklink, I may just have it shipped over to get earlier than August 1st because some of these I just can't wait for. But let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of these sets, and do you think that LEGO will continue the Infinity Saga lineup so they can continue to produce sets based on old moments from past MCU movies that we still haven't gotten? Because there's a ton of content we still have to see. Let me know, and stay tuned to Duckbricks for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon. Thanks, and bye-bye for now.